Can you please? Chirp. Chirp.
Chirp.
Sure. I need to add the go-go freeze on here so I can like not move around all the time. Because regular
Yeah.
go-go loco isn't compatible, but I can do the individual fly and the individual freeze asset. Because it's mostly just the locomotion stuff it doesn't like.
Oh my god. Can I, like...
I got
Right.
this.
Kirby.
Oh my god.
I'm ready.
Shit.
Hey yo.
Is there a problem?
Like if you want to be technical, I'm wearing less clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
that's-
See, now you can't get angry with me because he's wearing less.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
See how
wearing
that works out?
nothing.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I'm putting on beat champions. It's too fucking quiet here.
I need you to freeze because this head bobble thing is the one thing I really don't like.
Bobs cutely.
This. Sometimes his neck bends like he's a cat throwing up.
My favorite. You're so attractive. Look at you go.
I don't know what's with my oddly descriptive descriptions today.
Don't know. They're on point, though.
There.
Rainbow or no rainbow?
I think at this point there wouldn't be a need for it since you're basically done.
I like
Okay.
how the light interacts with your face differently than your body.
It depends on the spot, because sometimes it's
Yeah.
fine. You know, maybe I won't be here.
It works. It's
Maybe-
fine. It's fine. We can
I
still
was like,
we can still see you. So
He's ready. Anyway, I'm ready.
Alright, I'm
And
gonna
I'd like to be able to sleep tonight.
yeah, I'm gonna say there's like
Yes.
one of those like little gateways like at our other place. So
So he's noticeably squishier.
all right, I'm ready when you guys are.
Cards up.
Just probably holding just some bags. Yeah, I figured she'd be here. Let me just set these down.
do my best not to put my mask back on.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sorry that took so long. I had to go a little further to get the stuff needed for food.
Hmm.
How's it going?
It's been getting easier.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Things are more not excruciatingly painful anymore. Or just new.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and different.
wonderful.
Glad you're feeling better physically.
Yeah.
I actually did want to, glad that you're here. I did want to talk about this stuff because I don't know if you know more about it. All I really know is that Espoir's group has something to do with it, or at least some things along the lines of that. But I don't know anything else beyond that. You
They
guys.
consume life force.
Mm-hmm.
It's a specific race, or I guess series of races. From a different realm, or I guess fragment. But I guess they can actually be in various fragments, actually. But they're called the Unpure.
Okay.
One of those races specifically has the ability to change others into that of one of these races. Turns out Amelia was one of those things.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
honestly, no judgment to her. I wouldn't really want to be public about that either.
I mean, she looks basically the same, so I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. I highly doubt anyone else would have been able to.
Mm. But basically to, survive, it was the best option to have me like this because I was going to die anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
At least at that point.
that was mentioned before. So, feed on life force, is there anything else that we need to know?
I don't know a lot of specifics. I know the general gist of what they are.
Is there anybody that might know more information? Like, I mean, besides talking to just Espar's group it themselves?
Probably just them. Well, they're the only ones I'd be willing to talk to. There is the opposite side of it, which is, purity. But they would not welcome me at this point.
No. I don't think so. That's a horrible idea. That's something I do know.
That's
I
what I
don't
was saying.
think. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. That's not a good idea.
No. Okay. I guess.
If anything, I'd consider them an active threat at this point.
Yeah. So
At least for myself.
No, definitely. So I guess we're avoiding certain places. Which is fine. I guess we're gonna have to talk to Espar and his group at some point then. Probably when you're feeling more 100%.
I was able to use ice at one point. That was new.
Ice. It's cool. I also wanted to pose a question because I was doing some reading about it. If it were possible, would you want to have something that could give you a more humanoid form? Like, you know, how you looked like before?
I mean, yeah. I just before it was to be able to switch between like my true form and that more humanoid disguise or form was something that was maintenance to upkeep, but still within my, I guess, my own knowledge. I really don't know of other ways off the top of my head.
Well, the simplest way that I know about would be glamour.
That's not going to be really a feasible option, though, even with. Because if Konami is too close, the glamour would just mess up.
Hmm. Well, the thing that, you know, when you made your deal with the Jester, that, you know, to have you swap between the two different forms that you had, if we're going off of, I guess, true forms, I guess, wouldn't this technically count now? Wouldn't that somehow, I don't know, would that still apply?
Yes. However, it's mostly because this is the only form now.
Gotcha. Hmm. Well, I mean, I'm sure there is a way. Just gotta look for it.
Mm.
I could ask around, see what people might know. Maybe a non magic related solution.
Mhm. Any thoughts?
I do not really have much input in regards to this.
Mm.
I was going to bring up something else, but I'm struggling to recall. It'll hit me later.
Mm. man. This is a great conversation.
I'm gonna go organize some of the stuff I bought. God, tension's so thick you could cut it with a knife. Been feeling so sluggish as of late. Have I not been sleeping well? No shit, I've not been sleeping well. That's a dumb question. Just not been feeling myself the past couple days. Don't know why. Maybe it's magic stuff again. Maybe I'm just not utilizing enough. To be fair, I haven't had to. My training's been kind of lax the last couple of days anyways, so... Maybe now that Kane's doing better... Well, he's still not 100%, so... Training's on hold for a while. I can... wait. Just gonna take waffles. I don't know what to do. Obviously, I've apologized, but just words and apologies aren't gonna be enough. She's angry, she has every right to be angry, but I don't know how to make it right. And even if I do, that kind of trust isn't gonna come back easy enough. It's not like I didn't enjoy doing what I did. I didn't want to do it, but you knew this would happen, Aiden. You knew they would be upset. They have every right to be upset. Just gotta deal with it. It's not the first time you've fucked up. It certainly won't be the last. This just so happens to be one of the biggest fuck-ups you've done as of recent. But what else is new? Honest to God, though, I'm still not even sure if I made the right decision. For both of them. I'll give them another few minutes. Obviously, glamour and anything magic related won't work. 'Cause, well, it'll just be completely nullified by Konami. And then, of course, there's the whole thing about where she can't interact with him at all, otherwise he'll break. I have no idea how to figure that out. Maybe it might involve me talking. Maybe I could talk to Espar's group, see if I could figure out a way to fix that. I have an idea. I really don't want to go down that route. I want to find other avenues, but if there isn't any other way, I'll do it. I want to see if there's any other options first. I almost don't want to go back out there. Don't know why these keep ending up here.
It has been more than enough times of me returning to find either you or Aiden stabbed through, or in some state of harm. My issue is not that. You are free to make your own decisions. My issue is I could have done something and was prevented doing so.
I know. That's not the point I was trying to make. Sorry if I might have gotten lost in what I was trying to say. I was really just trying to say that I made that decision in the end because I wanted to come back to you guys. That was all
And
I
that
could
I am
think about.
grateful for. I am not saying that you made the incorrect decision in regards to being able to persist in life. That is not something I find fault in. My conundrum is that you shouldn't have had to make that decision in the first place. That was a final option. You should not have been on a final option. He shouldn't have been. I do not care for seers, oracles, or prophets. I frankly believe it is bullshit. And I starkly believe that this verdict, this decision, should not have been based off of a child's whims.
Reapers are more raised in societies that are those of ones of prophecies and spirituality, the process of life and death, and the path they can take. Seers are something I do believe in. I can understand the argument behind what you're saying, but that's at least where my head was at.
It is not the fact I do not believe that they exist, nor that they cannot see time or fate. That I do believe in, as I have seen it. What I don't believe in is them picking their course, picking the course of everything completely based on what they choose. If there's infinite possibilities, that means there is multiple trillions of chances of this not happening. But this is the road they picked. The moment a oracle, seer, prophet gets involved, the moment they start speaking, things shift and change. That is how they pick out the thread they desire. Now I understand probability-wise, this might have been their best option. But what if they didn't get involved? This is the best option if they got involved, but if they didn't, that opens up better possibilities. They cannot say that this is the best possible outcome when you're in this sort of state, in this sort of pain. That, I believe, is bullshit.
Fair enough. I see what you're saying.
I'm going to kill that child.
Did you want to come back over here?
I didn't want to interrupt.
See, this is what I mean. They're gonna grab you, Aiden. They're going to fucking just pull you over to him. You will do what I cannot. That is what you are currently useful for.
Just wanted to let you guys finish your conversation.
We were done. It is really hard to try to carry the conversation now.
Sorry. Admittedly don't know really what to talk about.
Dude, I'm resetting the model. I totally forgot the expressions. Don't undo.
Gotcha.
Ignore me for a sec.
Ye-
Sorry, Pookie. She's not gonna be the one to speak first.
Well, he doesn't. He's giving you space. That's the thing.
No.
Kane's about to be like, I need you to figure this out. I'm gonna walk away for 5 minutes.
Oh God.
I know, it's like,
Alright,
I
I'm
need
gonna
y'all
call
to be
you a
doing something
slur.
different. It's like, I need y'all to be doing something different. Anyway.
Because right now it's just quiet animosity.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think you two need to talk for a minute. I'll come back in a few.
I know we need to talk, but I don't know where to start. Those weeks ago, you made your point clear. You have, every right to still be angry, to be angry. There's, and I know that nothing I say will help. I guess just I will do everything I can to make it up to you, though.
And how exactly are you going to do that?
Well, I'll start with, ensuring that you can actually, interact with him.
How?
I've been reading and looking into it. I admittedly don't have a concrete, well, that's not true. I have an idea. I'm trying to find other avenues, though, because, honestly, it's not it'll work, but, I'm trying to find other options.
And how long will I not be able to hold him? To comfort him or give him any form of physical affection?
I'm gonna make sure it's not long at all.
This may make me less angry, but it does not increase my trust in you.
I know that. That's not
So how is that to be rectified?
something that's going to come back easy at all. I know this.
But how are you going to work to gain it back?
Honestly, not sure. Just, I know better to expect that coming back anytime soon. I know that's gonna take a lot of time. And honestly, you'd be in the right for that.
I am incredibly hurt via your actions,
I know.
but I am putting it aside for Kane's sake. I simultaneously want to hurt you and break every part of you, and hold you at the same time. Such conflicting feelings.
Yeah. It's not fun.
It hurts to love you.
I know. What you're feeling, what you're experiencing, it's not something that's, even if, it's not going to be as bad as it was 3 weeks ago, it's going to ebb on. It's gonna stick around for a while. Rightfully so.
It feels like when the hunter stabbed me in the back. Except it doesn't go away.
It won't for a while. Me being around probably doesn't help.
What doesn't help is you not being with Kane.
I know you can't.
It angers and frustrates me to not be able to hold or touch him. But it angers me more when you don't.
I wanted to give you guys a moment to talk. And obviously,
Even before that, when you were here,
it's not like I haven't.
you sat distance. Does this new form disgust you?
No, not at all.
So why is it when you first saw him, you immediately reacted in horror? It reminds me of when you first learned of how inhuman him and I were.
My reaction wasn't based on what he looked like. It was from what happened. The situation.
And yet, in a time where he needs contact, reassurance, and comfort, there is hesitation.
Nothing against him, I assure you. Just... You're already...
Just nothing.
No. You're already hurting from not being able to interact with him. But... And I know you say you want me to, in your stead, but I know nothing would hurt more than watching me. And
No, what hurts more is you punishing him in such a way.
I'm not...
You may not have the intent to, but that is what you are doing. I just told you, during this time he is fragile. His mental state is crumbling. He needs contact and affection, reassurance, comfort, and I can only do so much via words. You have the ability to do so, But just because my presence is here, you hesitate, you withhold it. You may say it is for concern of my feelings, but in all actuality is simply a punishment on his end. As I told you. It hurts, but it hurts more for this to occur. I'm in pain, yes, but he is in more pain.
I know he is. I just wanted to see if I could help both of you.
It is not helping. You ought to do in my stead what I cannot.
Alright.
I am frustrated by the situation. But at this point, I am more frustrated with your actions. I have spoken with Sherma as of recent. He is still being punished, and until this anger abates, he will continue to be so. I don't agree with your views. I don't agree with your opinion on the matter at all. I still think what you did was stupid. It was stupid, it was idiotic. And these are the consequences of it. But what is done is done. Putting my feelings and emotion aside on the matter, he is in pain, and he needs assistance. I'll get over the situation. It is all trust that will need work in the future. But that is a back burner issue. If anything, seek out a way for me to be able to touch him. Not for my emotion's sake, but for his, if that will give you more caution.
Alright.
I love you, but stop making it so difficult.
I'll try.
I found the mask.
Congratulations.
Where did you...
So how did you put it on without hands?
That's...
I don't want to know.
Did you
Is it the
use
feathers? Can you do shit with those feathers that float around?
the talons, maybe? You know, some birds, they can pick shit up with their talons.
Or the magical floating feathers?
The feathers are totally not there. What do you mean?
Oh, what do you mean? I absolutely see them. They
like, what the
flutter.
fuck is that?
Yeah, but that's where you can canonically piss off someone, just be sitting there, just waving it in his face,
No,
and acting like you don't notice.
I was gonna be like, I don't know if he's controlling them, but there
Yeah.
are feathers there. I don't think they
Yeah.
work as hands, but there is feathers there.
Yeah. It was the feathers calling it now.
Like cuts to him just like slamming his head on there. He's gonna be like, yeah, totally.
So,
That's-
Anyways,
what? What exactly is he? I know he's like an unpure race, but like, aren't they like based off of stuff? Like, I know Espoir is
Yes.
based off of vampire.
Well, he is clearly a legend orca.
I have no idea what that is. Listen, you
It
guys.
is a species that was once human or mortal that became one of the species via Dokube. The form is usually based off of a creature from mythos.
Or legend, hence Legend Orga.
So what is?
title drop.
So what mythos or legend or whatever is he based off of?
Well, I would presume it to be some kind of fucking bird. Gasp! Who would have thought?
There's only so many birds I know in mythos, and he doesn't look like any of
Okay,
them.
I would say
Something with feathers, then.
perhaps scales.
I got nothing.
Maybe this will narrow it down.
I think it might be black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least that didn't change.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm also drawing a blank.
A black bird that's fucking big and has scales, like a snake.
Pull out phone.
No shit.
Glad someone here have a thought.
Oh yeah, let me just grab my phone.
Yeah,
okay.
peck at it. Peck it. I know you will.
We really do need to find a way for you to have
I'll try.
have arms again.
It's fine, he could just peck things.
As
I
long
know
as-
you'll commit to this
You know how
bit.
like stylists have that little touch thing at the top? Like just add that to the top of the mask.
Exactly. All the feathers.
Make your
on
fucking
the
mask a stylist.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Really, I know you're going to commit to the bit of pecking things now. I know you'll do it.
It's not even gonna be efficient. It's not in my mouth. It's the principle of it.
You know, for some bird species and mythos, dependent on what myth it is, some of them don't necessarily have gender, but they lay eggs.
So you're aware of a possibility.
Why the
I would like
fuck would
To
I
make
lay
it
eggs?
into waffles if you do so happen to lay
I'm
one.
not laying eggs.
I don't think you have a choice
I don't
if
know
that is what you want.
What notion is more shocking, the fact that he could potentially lay an egg, or the fact that you would want to cook it
Yeah,
after?
I cannot.
Why not? It is an egg.
I was gonna say I disagree. The first part is significantly more concerning. I absolutely believe she would want to do that.
Do you molt now? Or shed? Well, you have snake skin. So, do you shed that part and then molt? Is it like the same season will happen at the same time? Or is it like differing seasons? So,
I guess
like,
we're gonna find
one
out.
season you're molting, and then the next season you're shedding, and then so on and so forth, so you always just have shit coming off you?
I think we're gonna find out.
Does your hair act like feathers? Are you going to lose your hair cane?
You're asking me a lot of questions I don't know the answer to.
I'll keep asking.
I feel like my hair is
Where's
not
your
going to
dick?
fall out. I feel like my hair is not going to fall out. Because-
Don't ignore my question. You know, you got bigger. Did it, like, stay the same size, or has it grown?
I have not
Is it
checked.
a dick or a cloaca?
Oh my god.
I have not checked.
I'm not
What
I
the
getting.
fuck
think you
is
should
a
check. This is
cloaca?
this is very important information.
What the fuck is a cloaca?
Not touching that. What's on?
They're going to send you that information just to your head.
Thank you, because I cannot use Google.
That is a
I
cloaca.
hate that.
We need to know.
I'm getting things like phoenix, rock, which is a bird in Arab mythology, but I don't think that seems to be the case.
Did your penis get bigger?
What mythos do you guys want me to check?
Do you want me to, like, bend over and check? Like, what are you asking me? of me?
Honestly, yes. Yes, I would.
Just like...
That doesn't look right.
I don't know if he can physically do that.
I
That's
don't
actually
think
really
so,
funny.
because your bird's knees don't bend that way.
No, I'm saying the torso doesn't bend, but I'm saying
Yeah.
it, like, pretending his torso leans over.
Just get a wide stance and just.
He's just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I? I have no clue.
I don't know.
I mean, there's water there. You could use the reflection.
Speaking of which, actually,
Yes.
I can use the reflection.
Yes, you can. To
I don't know how
check
to
your
do that.
dick size. I'm waiting. So did it, like, scale up with you? Or...
What?
Is it the same shape, or is it different now?
I have no idea. Okay. Guys, what mythos do you want
know.
me to look?
He's like, please change the size.
I'm trying, man. What mythos do you want me to look up?
I mean, he looks
I don't know.
Asian, so I would go with, one of those.
Eastern? Okay. Let's...
As I was saying. Go ahead, check.
Out of character, I'm rolling a dice.
Important information.
Well, what are the options that you're wanting for this?
So, first off, is it a cloaca?
Is it a cloaca? Alright, hang on. Where did my hotkey for that go? There it is. That's a 17. I'm gonna reject the cloaca.
Okay, I'll allow that. Okay, how big is it? Is it bigger? Is it smaller?
What would you consider a 14?
I'd consider it, rolled above a 10. I'll say it got a bit bigger.
Hell yeah.
And the
let's
next
go.
question is it still human shaped?
That is also a 14.
It is no longer human shaped.
Let's go.
Congratulations,
Okay.
it has ridges and bumps now.
At least
You're
it's not
welcome.
a corkscrew.
Real. At least it's not like a duck's.
Yeah, exactly. At least it's not a duck.
Shit whips out.
I was like, you can't give Kane that ability. He would absolutely abuse it.
I don't
Slap someone with your
I don't think he's a Tengu.
No shit. Also, it's a bit bigger. Congrats.
Hooray.
Right.
I guess lost 2 arms, gain a little bit of another. I guess.
It does not look like an arm.
Metaphorically speaking.
It's a weird fucking arm.
It would be a weird fucking arm.
Well, good to know.
He is searching so hard.
I'm getting several different birds, but See, the thing is, if you're based off of like a mythical creature, you're probably not gonna look exactly like one.
Hmm.
Hey, you wanna? I think I might know someone you could ask, though. I mean, who might know the answer. That shrine lady.
I mean, that is kind of assuming that it is something like East Asian.
It's worth a shot. It's a shot in the
Do I
dark.
need to look it up?
Be my guest.
Understood.
I mean, I don't know any other like black birds in Mythos, cause like, you know, you're obviously not a fucking raven or crow or anything of the sort. Or vulture. That came up before I put in Mythos.
Gee, thanks. I mean, actually, no, that kind of checks out.
Well, why would that check out? Why would you want to be a vulture?
I didn't say I'd want to be. I was just saying physical description.
Yeah. Yeah. And in terms of like build, you're built like an ostrich. Or an emu. Guess that means you probably can't fly. Like this, at least.
I definitely can fly. That's how I got out.
Really? Do you still have your fear of heights?
Yes.
Okay.
The mask makes it unable to see. It makes me use other senses.
I have an idea of one, but I'm not sure how exactly we can test this sort of thing. Because there's many, many different birds.
Mm.
Question. Does the phrase "until when" mean anything to you?
It feels like something I've heard before.
Okay. Let's see.
Oddly, yes.
Is it a Reaper
But
thing?
I can't explain why.
No, it's not. Okay. Speaking of Reaper's thing, how the fuck is that supposed to work now? Are they still gonna be after you?
Okay, that's a great question. I really don't want to find out.
I mean, I don't want
Because
to find out either, because they're also still after me. So I'm perfectly fine leaving that ambiguous. But
I
you're-
can't get to that plane anymore. Nor can I summon my scythe. I think it's fully cut off.
well, I guess you're not a Reaper, technically.
Itsumade?
What?
Itsumade.
Is that what you think he might be?
I believe so. Okay, does the phrase "itsumademo" mean anything to you?
In the same way as the previous phrase.
Mm. Are you a bit more sensitive to people or places that give off the feeling of suffering?
I don't know if more, given the situation that I was just in, but
Oh.
How vividly can you feel my pain?
a decent bit. I did notice that.
Okay, so the Itsunade is a yokai. Face of a human, mixed between a bird and a snake.
That lines
They
up so far.
are drawn to places of suffering or death, and they cry. They circle the sky above these places and they cry Itsumade, aka until when. They draw gazes to suffering. Sorry, they draw gazes to suffering that are not recognized.
That looks to be lining up.
That would check the boxes that I guess, go on mentally. Right now, at least.
You said yokai, right?
Correct.
Well, always really could get confirmation from her. Pretty sure those
I could.
kids she has are literally yokai, so
No kitsune.
yeah.
I could stop by there to learn a bit more if it is based off of the Itsumade.
Confirmation, things to know, worth a shot.
Mm.
In terms of, I guess, that side of things. And then, of course, if it comes to the unpure side of things, you know, we could always just go talk to Espar's group.
Oh, excuse me, let me just...
Jesus.
Okay.
Why'd
Anyway.
you...
Careful,
why'd
don't
you...
let me touch those feathers.
Why'd you...
Huh?
Oh my god, you can stance up. You know fucking Canadian geese? And, you know... And they, you know... They'd be pissy like they
Oh boy,
usually do.
I.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Can stance up. It's an intimidation factor. So,
Get stanced, idiot.
where did you find this thing, anyways?
Hmm?
The mask.
I don't remember.
Maybe you ransacked the costume shop or something?
Something like that.
Mm. So I just realized your ears are pointy. Not as pointy as like an elf, like elf ears, but there's just it's kind of squared.
And here, let me just touch them real quick. Oh, wait.
Do you want me to?
Yes. Huh.
That all right?
Yeah.
At least one thing hasn't changed. We still have to. Well, do we still have to preen him?
Yes, you do.
Okay. It's so weird because like they feel like feathers, but then they also don't at the same time.
Probably because they're technically crystal.
Yeah. Konami, if you want, while you're here, I got all this stuff to make waffles. If you want to make yourself a batch to bring back to Autumn.
Understood.
Hmm.
Squishy.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
You are very squishy.
Yeah, like I always am.
No.
More squishy.
What do you mean more? I don't understand what you mean by more.
Is your clothes feeling tighter?
Now that you mention it a little bit, I just, I haven't been tucking it in as much as I usually do.
Mm.
And I've lost the plot. I have no idea what she's talking about.
The feather's just floating over you.
If it touches her, it's going to just...
Yeah, no, it's not. It's just right over her
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. Is it not squishy, okay?
I mean, I'm comfortable.
That didn't. I don't think that answers their question, really.
Mm.
Hmm.
What do you want me to say?
Am I more squishy? Which I still don't know what that really means.
You're comfortable.
I guess I'm just not gonna get a straight answer, okay.
I mean, no. More squishy a little bit.
I guess to be fair, I've been kind of slacking off on training anyways, so maybe that's it.
I became dramatic things to say, I'm not gonna lie.
We could call that scene.
She's eeping.
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on. I do want to bring that up actually. Hang on. Hey, Kane.
Hmm?
Conan never used to have to sleep this much, right?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. I don't know if something's up or not, but I don't know. It's been happening a lot more often.
I can keep an eye out too.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned to you, but I gonna be starting officially with Nishiyama soon.
That's good.
Yeah.
I might sleep a bit too.
I'm not gonna go anywhere. I just might end up making a very rash decision, though.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Just having to sit up. He's still laying there.
Mm-hmm. guess I'll call them later. Scene?
Same. She anger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, Juna, I'm so glad you pointed that out as Konami, because that was exactly what I was thinking as Kane, but I didn't think he was going to bring it up during this scene.
Which was...
Bringing back up the original insecurity of his forms.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's why Amelia walked off when you showed up back at Root, because you reacted not good. You saw him and you immediately reacted in a way of being horrified. Like, oh no, like it's such a terrible thing that he's no longer humanoid, and I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
It wasn't really necessarily in horror of, like, the form he was in. It was more so at, like, the situation.
The
Yeah.
problem is that's how it's perceived.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say more at the beginning of this conversation where he was, again, he
Yeah,
sat at
when
the
you're
edge
over
and
here.
and your first thing that you brought up was, so when are we getting a human body back?
Yeah.
Well, it was more so posed as a question, like, would you want to get,
Yeah.
like, you know...
Yeah, I know that's how he worded it, and that's why, honestly, Kane agreed. But that's the thing is that Kane agreed because he does want a human body back, but it's because he's insecure about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Konami's like, I don't give a shit on what form you're at. That's not what I'm upset about. I'm upset about
Yeah.
the fact that you had to go through this in the first place. And I
Konami's
can't
like-
fucking touch you.
Konami's just mad about the interacting part and the fact that they had to go through the change without it, that it was not a good process.
Listen, when I could touch you, I'll take that bird dick.
Oh my god. Speaking of
Will.
which, you honestly probably gave him the incentive needed for him to go through with making that deal with the Jester. He's not gonna like doing it. He really doesn't want to do it, but he doesn't know he right now doesn't know any other option that wouldn't require taking time to look into it. And that's really the only way he knows for sure that will actually work. He's just not looking forward to the drawback.
Yeah. Which we'll need to talk about the drawback.
Yes.
Because I'd like to do it soon. Because I want to hug my bird. But,
Yes.
she's upset, but yeah, she was more upset by the fact of she loves the both of you a lot, and while her trust in you is definitely she still loves you enough to not fucking kill you or to horrifically maim you. So that really says something with you using her greatest weakness on her twice in a row. But she cares more about Kane than her own feelings on this matter. And so the fact of you trying to care for her feelings is just hurting him. That's why she was more pissed off about that than, it hurts to see you be able to touch them and I can't. And I feel envious and jealous of that. But it hurts more to see him in pain for the fact that you won't hold him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her stance on the matter. I'm upset, but I will put it aside for now for you to take care of him. If it's not enough incentive to go make this deal by the fact, if it's not enough incentive for you to go make this deal by the fact that I, am hurt by this, then at least take the incentive of, helping Kane, because obviously that's what you care more about, right?
No, I guess it's just he really was trying to find any other option that, works for everyone, but,
So what do you want to give up?
That's a good question.
What's your
Body
price?
fat, no.
No.
Term thick.
No. Hmm.
This is another map that if we do use consistently, I might consider getting the Patreon room.
Yeah. I don't know. See,
Is there
I
a
like.
Patreon room in this world.
I think
In the
so.
boat.
The boat, yeah.
Oh.
Because, like, with Jess. Actually, I did have an idea. And I'm gonna. Hang on, I'm gonna. If we're not doing anything else, I'm gonna end stream real quick, if that's alright.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the 10. Is it $10? Never mind. Fuck that.
Alright, I'm gonna end stream. Nazuko, the plan initially, like, I was probably out of character fully going to ask Jester. You know, it's just Aiden Hemming. Aiden really, really, really doesn't want to make a deal with the Jester because he's seen what it does to people. He's seen the
Yeah.
drawbacks.
Oh.
But, you know, he's like, at this point.
Right.
But, anyways, I'm gonna end stream.